I just had an audition recently.
Can we get an inside scoop for what?
For Charmed. For a show called Charmed.
I heard it here first.
I just recently had an audition for Charmed, and I play a character that they give you very little information.
Okay.
Right? So an audition is a perfect example because there's no excuse for bad preparation when you have the job and you're on set.
Right.
Because you have the entire script, you have the directors and the producers you can talk to if you have any questions. When you have an audition, you have just the 1 or 2 scenes that they give you, and you have a little blurb about your character.
Okay.
And that's it, right? So my character was confident and easily charming and just basic stuff. So you can't really get anything from that except for a general personality perspective. But then in the scene, it was 2 very simple scenes. One was just an introduction of the character, and the second one is he's in a lecture hall.
Okay.
But in the introduction of the character, one of the characters calls out a sweater that my character is wearing that's from a high school. And it's just a quick little moment where the one person's like, "Oh, you went to that school? I'm class of whatever." And then I'm like, "Oh, no way. I graduated in 2018. And that's the whole scene. So on the surface, it's a very simple, very basic scene. But what I ended up doing was I actually researched the high school
Right.
that my character went to. He was an athlete. He played soccer and lacrosse for that school. So on the web, luckily, it was an actual high school. So on the website, there's an athletics tab.
Right.
And I literally read, this is the only athletic section of anything I've ever read in my life, and it was for a role. Like if I'm on a team, I'm not reading anything. I just skip to the bottom, accept, sign,
right.
There you go. But I read it for this character, so I read the athletic, the school's athletic, whatever, rules or protocol, whatever.
Right.
And there's a lot of stuff in there that gives you clues as to what the character is. So for example, the rules of playing on this specific high school is you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't do any of that,
right.
Or you get suspended. This is all real stuff from an actual school. If you're even in the environment of people who are smoking and drinking, you're suspended.
Wow.
Because remember, it's a high school, you're all underage. But even if you're not the one drinking,
right,
you're suspended.
By association.
By association. So all this just tells me, like, it's just little things that helps build the character. Where it's like, this is a guy who takes his stuff very seriously. He doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, he doesn't do any of that. He's not even in the environment of it. Right. So if I ever get a scene and he's in a party, knowing that there's a certain way, there's tons of ways I can play it, but one of them is playing the uncomfortable, like him being uncomfortable and being in that environment, because that's something that he's not usually around. This is something he's usually getting in trouble for.
Right.
So it's all little things like that. Like I didn't have to read that.
Right.
I chose to read that because I want to know and I want to build as developed a character as possible.
Right.
Right. So those are the things where it's like, you don't like to do it because it's annoying and it's tedious, but it's your job.